Good morning. We are extremely pleased that you are here. It is good to come together for the purpose of co-creating. Do you agree? How could you look at your magnificent planet spinning in perfect proximity to other planets? Sun coming up every morning, food remaining constant on your planet. How could you not know there is something bigger than what's going on here on your planet? You're brilliant and you're magnificent, but you have not figured out how to scrape enough dirt together and launch another planet into orbit. It doesn't happen from your physical perspective. There is a bigger picture, and many of you accept it. You call it many different things. We call it source, but it is vibration. And it's easier for you to accept the source as vibration than it is in many cases to accept yourself as vibration. But we want to remind you that you are an extension of the vibration that is source, and you are primarily vibration also. So when you begin to ponder the notion that there is a non-physical vibrational part of you that is emanating a signal at all times, and here you are in your physical body, and if you are wisely wanting to feel good, you are finding vibrational resonance with that signal of source. Now you've got it all figured out. Now you've got life really going on. Because that means you accept that you are an extension of source energy, and that source energy is offering you constant, steady, pure, supreme, absolute, specific guidance. Guidance to you about where you are right here and now, in your thought, in your word, in your deed. There's one last thing that we want to take care of before we move forward, and that is we want you to realize that everything that you see in this magnificent manifested world that you are acknowledging was preceded by vibration. First there is thought. When you think a thought, that thought vibrates. And when you think upon it longer, it vibrates stronger until eventually there is a manifestation that surrounds that thought. And we want you to understand that the vibrational version of this magnificent planet existed before this planet came into being. And there is a vibrational version of improvements in your life that you can manifest as quickly as today. In other words, sometimes people think, well, it's been a long time. I've wanted this for a long time. And apparently I've been holding myself in resistance to this for a long time. So won't it be a long time for me to move myself in the right direction or in the direction of what I want? And we say, when you release resistance, you move there instantly. And you release resistance all day, every day. But what happens is, and this is the thing that we want you to understand, you don't maintain that absence of resistance for very long because you go back to looking at the same things that create the resistance. So what we want to show you how to do is how to find a vibration of non-resistance and then milk it for a little while. We want you to practice the non-resistance. We want you to practice the higher vibration until that higher vibration feels more natural to you, because it is supposed to be easy for you to feel good, not hard. Life is supposed to be fun, you know. Life is supposed to feel good. You came forth knowing that contrast would help you choose, but you knew that once you chose, it would be simple, very much like the buffet line. We don't see you in the buffet line looking at the magnificent food and saying, well, I wanted that, but I guess I'll have that. That looks so good. That smells so good. Oh my God. I so would like to have that. Give me that. Because you know how easy it is to say that, please. Put that on my plate. You feel relatively certain you can get it from the plate to your mouth. In other words, there is expectation. And that's what we want to bring you round to today. We want you to understand that all things are possible. It's just a vibrational adjustment away, a vibrational adjustment that you are absolutely capable of, but a vibrational adjustment that doesn't happen instantaneously. You have to move your vibration, move it and feel it, 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 move it and know it, move it and be it, and then everything manifests around it. And people look at you and say, what? Are you magic? And you say, yes. Yes. Yes, I am. What do you want to talk about? It's going to be a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful day. we're going to thread the needle. There are a lot of people running around this physical planet who are ornerier than anything else. They are just overwhelmed and ornery, worried, fearful, fitful, not feeling all that good about where they are or about the way life is treating them. And we would like them to know that those fitful, ornery, worrisome feelings are simply their emotional guidance system letting them know that they have an opinion of their life, an opinion of their planet, an opinion of something that is not in sync with the opinion that the source within them has about the same thing. So many of our physical friends, when they hear us say something like that, say, well, the source within me must not be where I am, looking at what I'm looking at. Source within me must be oblivious to the reality of my current life experience. And we say, that would be correct. Because the source within you only holds focus upon what you have asked for. In simple terms, when you say, I don't have enough money, you're asking for more money, and it is being vibrationally received. In fact, there is a veritable vortex of abundance that has been amassed for you, and all cooperative components have already been gathered. But if you're over here beating the drum of the I don't have enough money, then you are the last holdout. You're not a cooperative component to the abundance that has been gathered. And so it makes you believe, it makes you tell others, I want it, but it does not come to me. My reality is I don't have enough money. I check my bank account on an hourly basis and it's not improving. The reality of it is, in my reality, Abraham, my present tense reality, Abraham, is that there's not enough money, and I don't care what you say about this vortex of creation, I can't spend that stuff. And we say, yes, you can. This is a currency that is abundance of all nature. It's abundance of clarity. It's an abundance of the stuff that you call money. It's an abundance of vitality. It's an abundance of well-being. It is cashable. It is redeemable. It is spendable, and it is yours. That's, we call it your vibrational escrow, your vortex of creation. It is the vibrational version of everything that you've asked for, but you've got to tune yourself to it, which brings us back around to something that you've got to acknowledge, which is not the easiest thing in the world to acknowledge. You are vibrational beings, and most of you don't even know it. You think you're flesh, blood, and bone, and you think this bank account has a reality to it, and we say, your bank account is just currency that is moving around. Really, when was the last time that you carried big bags of money and spent them for things? In other words, most of you have that little plastic thing that you use. And if you can accept the reality of that kind of currency, we think you ought to be able to accept the reality of this vibrational currency. In other words, it's real. It's a vibrational currency. It's a bank account with your name on it. No one else has access to it. It is password protected. It's yours. It's yours. It's yours. It's yours. Nobody will ever abscond with it. But the fact that you're not cashing it in doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. It just means you're not using the passcode that has been given to you correctly. And the way you do that is by feeling your way into the vortex. So as you are realizing these few things, you were source energy before you came into this body, and the larger part of you still remains source energy even though you are in this body. And the larger part of you is eternally broadcasting a signal to you, specifically to you, to help you to know what your highest bounces have been, because the source within you always takes the highest bounce. That's why you never need to worry that if you or anyone tunes to the frequency of the source within you, that you will then become damaging to people or the world around you. It could not happen. You can't be in sync with that pure positive energy of source, of that which is the quintessential love, a love that humans have not even come close to expressing or identifying. When you realize that you are in vibrational alignment with that source energy, then we like to proclaim you in the vortex of attraction, in the vortex of creation, in the vortex where you are, for the time of your pure positive emotion, you are tuned in, tapped in, turned on, you are up to speed, vibrationally up to speed with all that you have become. And it is the best moment in time that you can find. When you find a moment in time where you have focused yourself into alignment, and therefore there is no resistance present in your vibration, you are soaring with the full energy stream that creates worlds. And under those conditions, you feel clarity, you feel confident, you feel sure, you feel love, you feel passion and eagerness and vitality and enthusiasm for life. That's who you are. That's how you felt when you came, and that's how you'll feel as you leave, and that's how we think you deserve to feel now. The vibration of who you really are as source energy is happening now, and the vibration of who you are here in your physical body is happening now. And your emotions are telling you the relationship between those two vibrational vantage points of you and you. This workshop, which is based upon the powerful law of attraction, we are calling the art of allowing, because it's really about you figuring out how to deliberately allow yourself alignment with who you really are. We don't think you should have to croak in order to release resistance. You will. When you croak, you will. We try to be as disrespectful as death as we can be, since there isn't any. But when you leave this physical body and withdraw your attention from things that you're thinking about here, you will become that highest bounce. You will become the fullness of all that you are. You will soar into the energy that is really who you are. But you don't have to have a physical death experience in order to do that. You just have to vibrationally, incrementally tune yourself to the frequency of all that you are. When you send the rocket, we ride it with no resistance. When you set forth a request for a better feeling body, we be it immediately. When you set forth the request for more money, we be vibrationally more abundant immediately. In other words, if you're confused, you ask for clarity and we become more clear, because when a problem is coming into focus, a solution is coming into focus too. You can't stop that process. It's the process of creation. We just want you to understand that the more confused you are, the clearer the larger part of you is. And bless you for being willing to sift in an overwhelming manner in some ways, to bring yourself to your knees in confusion, because you send these amazing rockets of request for clarity, which source energy benefits from. Now, you can benefit from them also immediately. We just want you to know that as you emanate these requests, the larger part of you, the non-physical part of you, becomes the new and improved version of you. Do you get it? That when you are poking around at a problem, the solution is coming into focus? Now, the reason that often you don't really get that is because when you're poking around at the problem, you're really involved in the problem, and you don't have access to the solution when you're poking around in the problem. We'll talk about this all day today, because this is what deliberate creation is. Better said, it's what creation is. It's only deliberate when you're aware of it. It's only deliberate when you decide that there's plenty of stuff that I've asked for, that the source energy part of me has already vibrationally become, that I could realize in terms of manifestation if I could bring myself into alignment with my own requests. So when you realize that you're getting this constant feedback in the form of emotion, and that the better you feel, the more aligned you are with source, and the worse you feel, the more out of alignment you are with source. We call it allowing of alignment, or resisting of alignment. When you are allowing this resonating blending of who you are with who you really are, you feel wonderful. And it's what all of you intended. You said, I'll go forth and I'll explore, and I'll come to new conclusions about what I want. But as soon as I decide what it is I want, I will give my undivided attention to that signal that is being transmitted eternally from the source within me, and I will blend myself, feel myself, merge myself, align myself, not just with the source of who I am, but with all that that source of who I am has become because of what I'm living here in this physical experience.